Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. This is Officer Ahhad of the Dade Zion and the Chief Priest Kahan and Chief Minister Shalamah. In today's class, we're going over the power of the tongue, right? We're going to go over the different aspects of our speech, how powerful it is. Right? When we were younger, we used to say, sticks and stones may break our bones, but what? Words will never hurt me. Yeah, right. Right? Your words can cause harm. It can bring life and it can cause harm. Right? What happened to Korah in the wilderness with Moses when he came up against Moses and he spoke against Moses? Right? He was swallowed up by the Most High by the earth, just by his words. Right? So we're going to get into it. Right? The first scripture, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yahawashi, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him. So everything we do here at the Dade Design, everything we say is based out of the Holy Scriptures, where you find the name, you find the life and purpose of Hamashiach Yahawashi. Right? His name represents his reputation, and we are to uphold that reputation when dealing with this word. Right? Because whenever Yahawashi spoke on something, he'd always refer back to the scriptures. So we should always do the same. We should always prove what we're saying with the scriptures, right? This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast to that which is good, right? So prove what you're saying through the scriptures, right? Another word for prove is to test something. See if it holds up to the truth of the scriptures, the truth of the Bible, right? And hold on tight to what's good. Throw out the bad and keep the good, right? So let's go back. Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Hamashiach of the Adonai Yahawashi, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him. So we got to give thanks to the Most High also. Always be grateful. Always stay humble. Right? The Most High didn't have to give us this truth, this understanding of who we are. Right? It's a privilege to know this truth, to have this wisdom. Right? So we have to constantly give him his due benevolence. Right? So let's get into it. Right? The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 to verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Right? So through your communication, you can bring someone to life, or you can cause them to die. Right? People who live that lifestyle on the streets know this. Right? Just based off your words, it can either go down or something positive can come from something. But we know how powerful the tongue is, right? Right? This can be spiritually and physically, right? When someone is angry, your words can either calm them down or help them avoid doing something or saying something stupid, right? Or you can stir them their anger even more and cause them to cause harm to others and themselves, right? Your words has the power to do that, right? This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Right? So it's all about how you use your words. The more it's more powerful than we would think. Right? So let's move on. This is Ecclesiasticism or Cyrex chapter 19 and verse 6. It reads, he that can rule his tongue shall live without strife. And he that hateth babbling shall have less evil. Right? So people who can't rule their tongue is always causing conflict. Right? We got to watch out for people like that, because if we're striving for peace, real shalom, shalom in the home, then people like this is too toxic to achieve this. Right? Let me bring out this next scripture. Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse 13. It says, curse the whisperer and double tongue, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. Right? So the whisperer, the double tongue, have destroyed many that were at peace. Right? If you really want peace, if you really want to promote peace, you have to learn to rule your tongue. You control what comes out of your mouth, not the other way around. Right? You may want to say something so bad, right, that it's just eating inside of you that you just gotta say it. Right? Knowing it'll cause strife, but you gotta learn to control that urge. And the scriptures speak on that. Right? It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 10. It says, if thou hast heard a word, right. If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee, and be bold, it will not burst thee. A fool travaileth with a word, as a woman in labor of a child. As an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh, so is a word within a fool's belly. So a fool will have a word, just have that urge to say something, just like a woman is in labor. She want to get that child out. That fool's like, yo, you heard about what? Like they just want that child, they just want that word to come out, right? Like an arrow that sticketh in the man's thigh. They just want to just pull that thing out, right? Pull that arrow out of they thigh, just like a fool with a word. He just want to, yo, you heard about such and such? Yo, da da da. That's how it is when it comes to a fool with the word, right? Scriptures warn us about that, right? When someone can't rule their tongue, they're counted as a fool. We all don't want to be that, right? The Most High is very descriptive of how he feels about fools, right? So let's see what the law says about, when it comes to our words. Right? This Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 6 says, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. So what is a talebearer? Let's look it up real quick. Talebearer, a person who maliciously gossips or reveals secrets. A person who maliciously gossips or reveals secrets. Now we know we read in Colossians 3:17 and First Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things. Does this line up with the scriptures? This definition, right? Let me go back to that. What was that? All right, so Leviticus 19, verse 6, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. All right. So let's see what the scriptures have to say about people who gossip and reveal secrets, right? Cyrex chapter 22, verse 22. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation, except for upbraiding or pride or disclosing of secrets. Disclosing of secrets, right? Or a treacherous wound, for these things every friend will depart. So people lose friends off of people revealing their secrets to somebody else, right? Right. You have confidence in that person that they won't tell other people your business. Yet you heard from this person that this person told you, and I was like, yo, you was like, what? It was supposed to stay between me and you. Right? Now I can't trust you. Right? You will lose a friend revealing his secrets. Right? Scriptures say when someone tells you something, it's supposed to die with you. All right, let's go back to that Cyrex 19 and verse 7. It says, rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse. Right? So don't go rehearsing what you heard from somebody else, what somebody else told you to other people, especially when you're dealing with a private matter. If they give you that what's the word that disclaimer, keep this between me and you. Keep that between you and that brother or you and that sister. Right? Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. We jump down to verse 10. It says, if thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee, and be bold, it will not burst thee. Right? Let it die with you. Take it to the grave, like we say. That's how you know the scriptures is our book, man. Everything we say, it comes back to the scriptures. Take it to the grave. In certain conversations that I had with certain brothers, I'm gonna take it to the grave. Right? Certain conversations, you just don't ever speak on it. If you know, you know. Say less. Right? These things we say. Right? Or what's the other one? What's understood don't got to be explained. Right? These things we say, and we can see that in scripture. Right? All right. So let it die with you. Don't be a talebearer. All right. Let's move on. So this is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Most High. So what is this saying? People, I'm not even gonna say people. Jake love to be like, oh man, and I'm gonna say this because we all know the word God is just a title; it's not the true name of the Most High. All right. So when people be like, man, I swear to God, what? Why I ain't do that, what? And they be lying, you are going the hell off. If you speak like that and you're used to saying this, oh, I swear to God, and you're lying, you're going the hell off, right? This is a commandment from the Most High, Yahawah, saying not to swear by his name falsely. Don't profane the name of the Most High, Yahawah. Right? Meaning don't blaspheme his name. Don't disrespect his name with their wicked tongue. Right? So all that cut that out your speech now. Right? Right? Don't test the Most High. Right? Because we love to do that. But we don't understand. It's because we don't understand the power of our tongue. We don't understand how much power we have in the words that we speak. Right? So we got to consider these things, Israel. Right? Let's move on. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 23. It says, a man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good is it? So what is it saying? It says, a man have joy by the answer of his mouth, meaning you should find joy in telling someone the right thing at the right time, right? It should be a joy to bring positive energy to someone who may be feeling down, who may be feeling negative, right? We also want to see each other in a good estate, in a good mood, genuinely. In the way to achieve that is through sharing the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding found in these scriptures. right? It should be a joy to spread this word, spread the wisdom found in the scriptures. Why? Let's find out. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse 13. Right? Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Right? The wisdom knowledge, and understanding found in these scriptures, it brings happiness. This is true happiness. Right? This is true happiness, right? The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, and verse 24. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. Right? This is the result when you use your word to speak pleasant things. Right? The Most High's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is sweet to the soul and health to the bones. Right? It turns somebody's bad day to a good day. Right? It turns someone's problems into being able to find solutions. Right? It removes that cloud over people's heads. Right? That's how powerful these scriptures is. The words of the Most High. Right? Right. So all praise to the Most High for that, for His word. Especially us who know who we are. We see it on another level. We see the Most High's words on another level. Right. We see His wisdom, His prophecies. Right. We read about the prophets differently than we did when we was in the Christian church. We see them as our ancestors. We see these scriptures speaking directly to us. That's a pleasant thing. It feels good to read about my ancestors. Yes, they went through things. Yes, our people to this day is going through the captivity that we in, but at least we understand and we know, because the peace that we get from knowing is that all this, it was not going to last forever, right? All this suffering is not going to last forever, right? This is the peace, this is the happiness that comes out of these scriptures when we understand that. Right, so all praise to the Most High for that. All right. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul, and he that keepeth understanding shall find good. Right? So just like it was brought out in Colossians 3:17, everything we say got to come out these scriptures, because this is our positivity. Right? This is our daily affirmation. People like to post daily affirmations on Instagram, and that will be their good. That will be their motivation for the day. Nah, our daily affirmations are found in these scriptures. I'll even go to say daily affirmations is just be hijacking and bootlegging the scriptures, the wisdom found in these scriptures. Right? There's no other wisdom higher than the Most High's wisdom. Right? All right. Let's move on. This is Psalm chapter 19 and verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Yahawah, my strength and my redeemer. Right. So we gotta keep that in mind. We gotta ask the Most High, to help us, even though like we ultimately make that conscious decision to do so. We ask the Most High, you know, to help us have to let our words be acceptable to Him. Let our hearts, let our mind, the heart is the mind, the meditation of our mind be acceptable in His sight. Right? You have to keep in mind the Most High and His Son when it comes to the words that come out of our mouths. Right? Going back to Colossians. All right. This is my last scripture. This is Colossians chapter 4 and verse 5. And it reads, walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. Right? So we got to walk in wisdom towards them that are without. We know the scriptures. We know what our people is dealing with, the negatives and the positives. Right? We got to walk in wisdom. If you see somebody angry, like the scriptures that I brought out earlier, you're not going to speak to them in a way that's going to make them more angry. You're going to use wisdom and speak to them in a way that will calm them down. When they're calmed down, now you can break down, the true thing you're trying to bring to them, right? But you got to walk with wisdom, right? The way we operate in this truth is different than when we operate in the world. And when we're dealing with people in the world, we got to understand they're not moving off the scriptures. So you got to speak and move with wisdom, and then bring them back to the scriptures. Then do it in a way where they understand, because they're in the world, they're not going to understand. So scripture say, walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. Understand what type of time they on, what type of time you on. The situation, be aware of the situation, right? Verse 6, it says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. So it comes down to communication, right? How we communicate with people. How you say it is not what you say, it's how you say it. Some things you got to season it with salt. You can't just say what you want to say, because your point might not be received that way. All right. So I pray we understand this, Israel. We have to walk in wisdom towards those that don't have it, right? With our actions and our words. Right? So I pray this was an edifying lesson. I pray it motivates you to keep enduring in this walk. And with that, I say shalom.